Now, wait a minute. He said no accountability. No accountability at all. And it reminds me, is this the same lady that shot the dog? And then when everybody was outraged, she stuck to her guns and refused to accept any accountability for that? Or terrorizing the goat or the kids or anybody in the neighborhood. This the same lady.
A few years ago, I had to put my puppy down by shooting it in the face. Because sometimes doing what's important means doing what's hard.
Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters and I'm troubled. Here I am finishing my loan application for all the apps I need to watch NBA this season. And I see this. Noem accused of posting fake video of black men threatening ICE agents. Department of Homeland Security has become known for controversial posting under Kristi Noem, typically mixing memes with aggressive posturing against undocumented migrants. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You said she's accused of posting a fake video of a black teen. Shouldn't this be Racist of the Week? Well, see, racists are guided by one of the most ignorant principles that there is. You look at Kristi Noem and find me principles. Any principles at all. Her kid's school don't have principles. She don't even have Victoria principle. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is facing questions after her department's official X account reposted a TikTok video of a group of black youths apparently threatening ICE agents that may not carry its original caption. The original DHS account posted the video on Friday, which features an on-screen message that reads, "ICE, we're on the way. Word on the street, cartels put a $50K bounty on y'all." Noem herself claimed that drug cartels were placing bounties on agents' heads in an interview with Fox and Friends earlier this month. I'm sorry, Kristi Noem, is it your theory that the primary method of contacting said cartels is TikTok? Is that what they're doing? I know everything else y'all do is just right in front of all the world to see. So I'm just making sure that you think other people are that ignorant. The department's own comment in its post declared, "FAFO, if you threaten or lay hands on our law enforcement officers, we will hunt you down and you will find out really quick. We'll see you cowards soon." So y'all just gone and co-opted FAFO, huh? That's going to go the way of woke. Okay. You know what you should really do? I've become quite fond of using the South Park version of you, Kristi Noem. Why don't you go ahead and co-opt that?
Together, we'll make sure everyone is in this country legally.
However, social media users soon claimed to have tracked down the original version of the video and alleged it was first uploaded with an entirely different caption in which the participants jokingly threatened Iran, not U.S. federal immigration agents. California Rep. Eric Swalwell was reportedly one of the first to rebuke Secretary Noem over the post, but has since deleted a tweet that read, "Kristi, delete this tweet or answer for it in Congress. It's fake. You're the queen of photoshopping." Now wait, so Eric Swalwell posted a tweet saying for Kristi Noem to delete her tweet, but he deleted his tweet. So is there more to the story?
Oh, DD, what it is? Oh, DD, what?
It's Kristi Noem. It's always more to the story. Anytime I ever cover her on this channel, I get sidetracked with nefariousness past. Democratic congressional candidate Danny Glover was among those to subsequently share a new TikTok video by the young man, featured most prominently in the clip, in which he explained that he had been notified about the controversy the DHS post had stirred up and said, "I saw the caption and was like, I didn't do that."
So I'm getting these mad messages from my DMs and social media and on my comments. And I randomly get a text message talking about a recent video that was posted in my account I was like, what are y'all talking about? By the way, I'm sick, so if I sound weird, yeah. I get threats daily on IG and everywhere all over my social media all of a sudden due to an old video I posted months ago about Iran. Iran, that was not to be a threat. It was literally a joke, bruh. Like, seriously, it's just content. Anyways, once I seen that video that was posted on my account, then I was like, what the fuck? Well, didn't I post this like months ago? Then I seen the caption, and then I was like, wait, I didn't do that. I still got the video saved on my draft from months ago on TikTok, bro. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Now, here's the fucked up part. The federal government is involved with something that I didn't do. Like, what? So this is what they reposted off my TikTok. That video got taken down. So here's what they reposted on their page. Now that video is going crazy as hell on Twitter, bro. Now I'm a threat to the government with something that I didn't do, bro. Now I'm being called a wannabe YN, a wannabe gangster over a video that I didn't caption.
A DHS spokesperson has since told The Independent in response, this young man posted violent threats of murder against our law enforcement. He then deleted it when he was called out and attempted to deny all wrongdoing. We have the receipts and the internet is forever. DHS did not edit, change, use AI, or any other manner or form alter this video. It was downloaded directly from this individual's account on Friday, October 17th. After it had already acquired over 40,000 likes and hundreds of comments urging individuals to target our ICE officers. Ooh, okay, so this is an interesting one. So he's claiming that it was nonsense, and they're claiming that they have the receipts. Now, we have not seen said receipts, so we would have to take their word on said receipt. So you would kind of have to lean on the credibility of the individuals involved. I have no prior interaction with the creator. As far as Kristi Noem, isn't this the same lady who wrote a whole book about her life in politics, and then when she got caught out about Kim Jong-un, just decided to say, I'm not at liberty to discuss my meetings with world leaders?
No, what I said is that when this was pointed out, that we made an adjustment to what the content was in the book. I've met many world leaders around the world. I've been to the DMZ. I've been traveling for years and years talking to world leaders. Just that name should not be in the book, and I'm not going to discuss those personal meetings.
After she had put that in the book, is this the lady that we're talking? I'm just making sure. So this is who we talking about now.
Did you see that DHS posted this deepfake AI-generated video of black teens threatening ICE, putting in danger the life of the real black teen who posted the original video? So DHS posted this fake video saying that black teens are planning to hurt ICE with the caption FAFO to the black teens. This whole video is AI. It was remade from this creator jokingly telling Iran not to mess with the US. So the original video was a joke and kind of patriotic, but somebody online took that video and remade it to scare white people into thinking that black teens had joined the radical left's assault on law enforcement. Something that is not happening. It is actually happening the other way around, where ICE is attacking us for $50,000 bounties. People are trying to make excuses, trying to say that DHS was also fooled by the fake video, which makes absolutely no sense. This is the US government, with entire teams of experts whose job is to tell fact from fiction. Also, this post is still up after multiple outlets have confirmed that the video is AI, because DHS wants this lie to spread. For months, DHS has been pushing this false narrative that everyone from the cartels to protesters want to hurt ICE. Now with this fake video, they want to lie and say that black people have entered the chat. And because of what DHS did, this kid who posted the original video that they used to regenerate with AI is getting death threats. He's even gone online to apologize for the confusion that DHS created and to try and set the record straight. A child is doing more to give people the right information than the US government is. This government is being run by fascists, liars, and white supremacists. They are the problem. They've always been the problem. They've constantly been able to use black and brown bodies to distract people from who the real problem is.
Now, wait a minute. Kristi, one of the things he talked about was ICE terrorizing the community for $50,000 bonuses. You would have called that out now, right?
Flashback.
Redis. He is a disabled U.S. veteran. He is a U.S. citizen, and they are desperately looking for him. They haven't heard anything about his whereabouts from yesterday. They do say that he was taken in the raid. We want to show you a picture of 25-year-old George Redis, a U.S. Army veteran who his family again says is disabled. They saw via Air 7 yesterday that he was trying to leave the scene in his white vehicle. Take a listen to what his sister and then his wife told us.
Broke his window, they pepper sprayed him, they grabbed him, threw him on the floor, they detained him. His wife's been trying to call and ask where he is. They don't know where he is. We don't know what to do. We're just asking to let my brother go. He's a U.S. citizen. He didn't do anything wrong. He's a veteran disabled citizen. It says it on his card.
And yet there hasn't been any word about any of that, huh? Nothing at all about that. That's not going to go over well in the comments, I don't think. People who trust and believe the government are fools. These videos were made on the same day back in June. Look at the TikTok accounts for each video circled in red. They're posted from 2 different accounts. Notice the track behind them is the same. Why is DHS gaslighting us to believe the clothing and background are different in these videos when they are not, and not explaining why the TikTok accounts are different? Homeland Security using edited video to target a young black man. Hey, nothing new to see here. Same old racism. And he should sue the absolute bejesus out of DHS, Noem, and everyone. These are sick people. They took a kid's joke about Iran, and because he was black, made it seem like a threat. Oh, and then we got this one. That would be a huge can of whoop ass that will come down on whoever tries something like this. Just saying. With a meme of there are 21.8 million armed forces veterans in the U.S. Let that sink in. Over 14 million of them can walk into combat tomorrow. That is true. That is true. At the same time, you would have to take away those that vote Democrat, which statistically is 51% of the population, but I'll be generous and say more of the military is conservative. Let's say 40%. So there's 40% right there. And then you got to go ahead and hit all the black and brown ones. Maybe not all of them. Of course, there's some black MAGAs in there, but those are the ones whose community are being terrorized right now. And then I guess you would have to take away the women, because they're not wanted and their inclusion has been diminished. And I guess you got to take away all the fat ones too, all the ones that might have folliculitis or anything like that. And then there's all of those military veterans that have paid any amount of attention to this administration and this president that has insulted, belittled, and demeaned the military at each and every turn, going from suckers and losers to my heroes are the ones that don't get captured to Arlington Cemetery to making the Army's anniversary about himself to calling the Navy's anniversary a rally for himself after making them wait for him. So like if anybody paid attention to any of that, then they might not be on board, you know.
Hey fam, so the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem's outfit, is now weaponizing social media against the American people and putting Americans' lives at risk. The Department of Homeland Security ex-Twitter account posted this video purporting to show a group of young black men threatening ICE agents, saying there's a $50,000 bounty on your heads and, you know, we're coming for you. And then they make a threat back and say that if you threaten ICE agents, we're coming to get you. Well, turns out the video is an AI fake. An astute user on ex-Twitter noticed that the Homeland Security video, which is a TikTok video, they've actually changed the caption on the video The original TikTok video has a completely different caption that's not about ICE at all. It's about Iran. They even changed the music. That's how you know it was re-edited, because the musical track on the clip is different. The caption is completely different. And they've essentially used this young man's video in order to create a fake appearance, a fake threat against ICE from young black men. So they've weaponized anti-blackness. They've weaponized a lie that these federal agents are being threatened and that there's a bounty on their heads, which they've apparently made up. And they're using anti-blackness in order to create this fake sense of threat. That is your government using your resources, your tax dollars, in order to weaponize American social media to get those Americans death threats, because that's what's happening to this young man. Here's a little bit of his video in which he talks about the fact that since this video has gone viral, he's now getting death threats. Take a listen.
This has gone way beyond too far. The Department of Homeland Security, the same agency sworn to protect Americans, just reposted a video of a young black man and completely twisted his words. They edited his video to make it look like he was threatening ICE agents. They captioned it, "We have the receipts." This is not a joke. It's a smear campaign from our own government. Imagine waking up to find the US government telling 300 million people that you are a terrorist. He's been doxxed, he's been harassed, he's been hunted, and DHS still has it posted on their official X account. And what's worse, people are saying, and are going to be saying, they are not surprised. This is a huge problem. We should be living in a world where this is shocking and where the people responsible are held accountable. This is exactly how dictatorships start. Not with soldiers in the streets, but with propaganda built on ordinary citizens. And this young man, they aren't just trying to ruin his reputation, they are trying to and are actively destroying his life. If the state can manipulate a video to fit its story, they can do this to any one of us. But most importantly, when they target a young black man and a community already oppressed and profiled, it exposes exactly what kind of system we're living under. And yes, there will be people saying, I don't understand because I'm white. And they're right, I'll never understand. But what I do understand is that we cannot and we will not let this keep happening.
Now, wait a minute. He said no accountability. No accountability at all. And it reminds me, is this the same lady that shot the dog? And then when everybody was outraged, she stuck to her guns and refused to accept any accountability for that, or terrorizing the goat or the kids or anybody in the neighborhood. This the same lady.
A few years ago, I had to put my puppy down by shooting it in the face, because sometimes doing what's important means doing what's hard.
Huh. Yeah, I can't say that would be accountability. I can't say that would be accountability. And naturally, the reason why she behaved such a way is a poor woman's interpretation of Trump's behavior, and he is king. No accountability. I mean, it's almost November and we still blaming Biden for stuff. We still blaming Obama for stuff in 2025. So yeah, accountability, that is definitely not it. And one thing that is a hallmark of this administration, because they love to go on the offensive. So if there's not going to be any accountability, then naturally they're going to double down.
The meme, people said it was a meme and a joke when these young men said they were going to attack ICE and get a bounty on the heads of ICE. And it was a clip that was going viral over the weekend, but it's these guys are saying threatening ICE. Like, and Department of Homeland Security did not take this as a joke. Can you give the status of this?
There were two separate narratives going on. It was the Eric Swalwells of the world were tweeting about this. There were even some USA Today journalists tweeting about this. First, they were saying, the left was saying that we had doctored this video and changed it from an Iranian message video to anti-ICE, that we had doctored it ourselves. And then the second narrative from the influencer, the guy who posted this video, was that, oh, he was hacked. So after he gets called out from the Department of Homeland Security for threatening ICE agents with violence, then suddenly he says he was hacked. So we referred this to the FBI, and so we'll check on the status with them. But the fact of the matter is that these politicians like Eric Swalwell and Dan Goldman, who both were posting about this and threatening to haul Secretary Noem in front of Congress for this video, are so willfully blind to the fact that there is violent threats against our law enforcement, and go so far as to create these fake narratives to cover up for these thugs.
So, yeah, I mean, again, they posted a video that said, ICE, we're on our way. The streets and cartels put a $50,000 bounty on you. And it's a photo of them standing, presumably in a manner that says, we're going to go attack ICE agents and kill them for money.
Yeah, absolutely. So happy to give you an update as far as from the FBI and the DOJ, but we're not backing down on this. This wasn't a joke. This wasn't some hack. The evidence will show otherwise. We have the receipts.
To which immediately under it, you can find, this is not a joke. 10 seconds of research later sees the exact same joke format posted by the same person several months prior. Now that's weird. I wonder why Benny Johnson would be platforming something like this. You know, the patriot that he is. Because immediately under that, you got still receiving your paycheck from Russia, Benny. Now, she said fake narratives, kind of like projecting violence onto a particular metropolis because you have determined in advance you would like a military presence. And then when presented with the opposite and people on the ground who express just how outlandish this is, not taking accountability, doubling down, and then saying, oh, these thugs have threatened the politicians. That's why they're scared to say the truth about all the crime that's really going on that you can't see. So that's why you can't see the crime going on behind closed doors. And then it's not being counted because the people who count the crime be hovering above the ground. So behind closed doors, that crime don't count. And then the politicians are threatened by the same thugs. That's why they all say the same. Yeah, that would be a fake narrative. That's exactly what that would be. So naturally, when there is like an actual narrative, right? Like when you have a conglomeration of extremism and hate, specifically directed at blacks or Jews or whoever the case may be. When you see something like that, certainly we can get a blanket disavow of that. No, we can't, because J.D. Vance went on to the Charlie Kirk show of all places and talked about how it was perfectly fine for the young Republicans to express themselves that way. So certainly when they talk about putting people in ovens and things of that nature, that was totally fine. When they talk about graping others, that was totally fine. We can project violence where there is none and go as far as to say they're threatening the people that are opposing them. That's totally fine. But we're talking about fake narratives right now, because this is the thing. The credibility from the right is crazy when it comes to this. This is a woman in Kristi Noem who had people reject her government shutdown video because of how nakedly partisan it was. They couldn't post an informational video just about the government shutdown without going into their political bags. So, you know, you don't get that for nothing. You do that. That's how I'm looking. You know what I mean? We look at you like this now. You know what I mean? We look at you like this now. That's just, you know, that's what you did. In fact, you came in with us looking at you like this. And it's not just because it was the best angle on your face. That had absolutely nothing to do with it.
So let's get out there and get them, recruits. Together we can make it happen.
Now, here's a question. Now, a lot of the things that you talked about have to do with Kristi Noem personally. Have there been any other examples like this that they've exhibited either on social media or using the DHS accounts? This is not the first time Noem's department has been accused of misusing social media. Under her leadership, DHS online messaging has taken an increasingly combative tone, often mixing official law enforcement updates with memes and politically charged rhetoric. Supporters have praised the approach as bold and unfiltered, while critics describe it as reckless. Earlier this year, Noem faced similar backlash after promoting a photo of an alleged MS-13 gang member that was later proven to be fake. At the time, she insisted she had no knowledge that the image had been doctored. Oh, okay. Okay. That must be kind of like how you had no knowledge of your meeting with Kim Jong-un. That's like, okay. Yeah. Multiple times you were asked about that. You still had no knowledge about that. Okay. But I'm supposed to trust in the investigative work of this administration. The same administration that apparently didn't vet their new nominee this week.
President Trump's pick to lead the Office of Special Counsel appears to be on thin ice, and that, quite honestly, may be a generous take. You now have the top Republican in the Senate, John Thune, saying this about Paul Ingrassia: he's not going to pass. It comes after Politico reported on racist text messages Ingrassia allegedly sent in a group chat with Republican operatives. In one message, Ingrassia allegedly texted that the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday should be tossed into the seventh circle of hell where it belongs. In another, Ingrassia, in a back and forth, allegedly wrote, "I do have a streak in me from time to time. I will admit it."
Now here's a question. Which one of those you think got his nomination knocked out? I don't think it was us. You know what I mean? I don't think it was us. They would have let that ride. You know, they would. Hey, America, we've been here long enough. Now, that's the investigative work of the entire administration, but let's see what things are looking like at DHS, where Kristi Noem just fired 24 FEMA employees after massive cyber failures. So you had massive cyber failures, huge holes in the vetting in the administration, in addition to what we know about you personally, and I'm supposed to ride with you? Is that really? That's, you know what I mean? It just don't feel right. It don't feel, in fact, it feels crazy, the case that you're making.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Well, here's the thing. All that kid has to do if he wants to get them off his back is pay somebody. That seems to be the easiest way to clear everything up. It worked for the donor in the Florida enclave who just got his peer restored, which has Kristi Noem under fire for directing FEMA funds there. Wait a minute. So they just donated money to get FEMA funds? To get the federal funds they got? Huh. It seems like that would be a bigger scandal. Oh, because of the plane, because she got two planes. That's the bigger scandal, is the two planes. Well, maybe it makes sense why they won't back down on this one, because if they drop this, then we got to talk about the planes. You know, at least the MAGAs got her back when it comes to that, right? They always circle the wagons. Furious GOP lawmakers demand more effing respect from ICE Barbie. Even Republicans are getting angry about Kristi Noem's alleged mishandling of the Department of Homeland Security. Republicans are seriously peeved at Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem for slow-walking funds for disaster aid amid her busy schedule of appearing on television. Yeah, that does seem to be where her priorities lie. That does seem to be, you know, that it really seems to be really about attention when it comes to her. And who could have seen that coming? I think that. Taxpayers in South Dakota stumped up a massive $150,000 to help finance then-Governor Kristi Noem's cross-country flights last year. The bills accrued during her time as governor and during President Trump's re-election campaign include almost $8,000 for plane tickets to a right-wing conference in Paris, a book tour through New York, and bear hunting trips to Canada, according to Associated Press. Noem also went on numerous trips to Trump's then home in Palm Beach, Florida, as she continued to rise up the MAGA movement's ranks. She refused to say what the trips were costing taxpayers, but in the weeks since Noem became Trump's Homeland Security Secretary, that mystery has been solved. Yeah, we all should have seen that coming. Yeah, we all should have seen that coming. In fact, half of us did, which is half of us less than it was obvious to. It was pretty obvious to everybody, but certainly should have been obvious to Congress. Yet here we go with the head of the Department of Homeland Security using racist dog whistles on the regular. Oh yeah, this accusation just fits really nicely alongside the track record we've accrued this year.
Customs enforcement ads for hiring are getting so fucking weird. Like this one right here, it says, defend your culture. As if immigration laws should be anything about culture. It's absolutely not. That's just fucking racist. The culture of America has nothing to do with who's coming in and who's leaving. It's about what the principles and values are of our democracy. Due process, freedom of speech, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, things like that, self-determination. So that's one thing. Secondly, they got this other one saying basically no age limit, taking father-son bonding to a whole new level. I just like going through these and reading like the white supremacist coded language. It is blatantly obvious. They're going to get all kinds of fucking horrible, fucked up people applying and getting hired for these positions. Just watch. It's going to come out in the news when something bad happens, and you'll see it all in about 6 months from now.
So the white supremacy of the MAGA movement has been overt for a while now, but we're going to point out just a couple of things that have come out in the past couple of days that have really ramped up that in-your-face white supremacy. If there's anybody left in the MAGA movement that's saying we're not a racist movement, I mean, they disagree with you because they're basically telling you that they are. This is from yesterday. The homeland we seek to defend. And then we have this painting that is supposed to evoke feelings of nostalgia. A group of all white boys playing football in the yard. Because I guess to them, white kids in predominantly white neighborhoods no longer play football in the yard. Okay, but of course they are evoking feelings of nostalgia by pointing out a group of all white kids. Now you could say, well, that's just one singular picture. Maybe it just reflects the artist's hometown, blah, blah, blah. Although, let's not be deliberately obtuse here. We know that there's a reason why the U.S. Department of Homeland Security chose this particular image. But let's look at their post from yesterday. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security's post from yesterday was just one singular word: remigrate.
Oh, but wait. There's more. Because when it comes to white supremacy, it can always get even more overt.
But let's add some context there. So remigration is an originally European far-right proposal of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white immigrants and their descendants. Let's look at this article the New York Times published yesterday. Trump considers overhaul of refugee system that would favor white people. The proposals would transform a program aimed at helping the most vulnerable people in the world into one that gives preference to mostly white people who say they are being persecuted. And we're going to see that one of those countries is South Africa. If you know anything about the history of South Africa and apartheid, that the people that are quote persecuted for being white in South Africa are people that are pissed that they are now forced to be equal to black people after apartheid was overturned in the mid-90s. It says the Trump administration is considering a radical overhaul of the U.S. refugee system that would slash the program to its bare bones while giving preference to English speakers, white South Africans, and Europeans who oppose migration. Barbara Stack is a former chief of the Refugee Affairs Division. She worked under Bush Obama and the Trump administration. She said it reflects an existing notion among some in the Trump administration as to who are true Americans. They think it's white people. They think it's Christians. So let's not pretend anymore. Being a Trump supporter has nothing to do with racism. It does. It does. They are telling everybody that it does. The MAGA movement is a white supremacist movement. That is the beginning and end of it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. We're definitely gonna have to talk about that. And the next one will be a racist of the week. Don't you worry about that. But you know, I am in my Libra season. That's why I got my 22s out there. So there's always a balance. Gratitude. I'm just glad my mother didn't know the word remigration. Honestly, because she would have took them up on that. Let me tell you that. When I was 13, she would have remigrated me up the street. I mean, she tried to. She just didn't know what it was called. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. And as you can see, we made it 600,000 subscribers. So you know what that means. We gonna party. So be on the lookout for notifications of a members live.
A house party. House party? The mother of house parties, man. A pajama jammy jam.
And of course, I gotta extend huge gratitude to all the people whose hard work have made 600,000 possible. Like my man David, whose work on the thumbnails is unmatched. Of course, our editors, Denzel and Boz.
The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. Buck Nasser, what can I say about that suit that hasn't already been said about Afghanistan?
And all of the fantastic mods going all the way to the very beginning with Mariana and Dank and Deshauna, Roberta, Larry, Wendell, Chernobyl, Midnight Oracle, Lovely, Nola, and of course, TJ, who just got added, Miss Ray, who runs the whole entire ship.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
And Regina, whose research has made all of these videos so much better than they ever could have been otherwise. And by the way, I think we have a new newsletter that you should check out as well. And I know she thinks I forgot her, but no, I never could. My girl, Kristen, who sent me this photo with her dope mug, and it looks fantastic. Thank you so much for all your hard work as a mod. Thank you for the pick. And thank you for being 10 toes down with the channel. And while we're on the topic of merch, some of you guys might have heard of a new website. That is the People's Getup. That is the peoplesgetup.com. That is the site whose content you'll be seeing soon right here on the YouTube channel. You know, things get a little complicated when you cry and cross streams. So we couldn't connect it from the ReeseWaters.com. We had to develop a whole nother website. Don't even get me started. I'll probably have a members video just ranting all about that whole process.
I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you. And I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Thanks to my wife for that one. But check out the peoplesgetup.com for all the merch you'll be seeing soon right here on the channel. You can pick it up right there. And by the way, there's lots of new stuff there and more to come for the holidays.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Is that a Who Raised Y'all shirt? Yes. Yes, it came recommended. What's that? Oh, the sixes? No, because I got 4 6s. I got 4 6s. So if you have 4, it nullifies it. 3 is a problem. If you have 4, then you good. Where I saw that? 2 Corinthians in the Trump Bibles. 2 Corinthians. That's what. So yeah. So I'm good.